because I kind of was jealous of the fact that they are able to do nothing and find a whole lot of success and recognition. But this is the good news. This is where the campus community gets impacted. We signed a few acts for the remainder of the semester that I'm very excited to share with you. Starting with March 1st, Stephen Byrne, he's a comedian. He's done a lot of different comedy specials. I think he's been on the Jay Leno show. He will be on campus. We're going to have him perform, I believe, in the Cavallo Room. Check for advertisements. He's going to be coming March 1st. We've also signed a graffiti performance artist who you have to see to believe. He does choreography mixed with like a medley of Michael Jackson songs, say, as an example, and little by little he'll throw art like graffiti style onto a canvas, and you blink, and next thing you know, and there's a full shot of Michael Jackson pop art style. It's awesome. You're going to love it. Riken Lemkool, who was the winner of Amazing Race, will be coming to Rider on April 15th. He is a gay rights activist who speaks out against Don't Ask, Don't Tell, made famous by his relationship with Lance Bass. Gave a really nice speech. I think he's going to do a great job for us. And, you know who else we saw? Cara Diaguardi, who is the host of American Idol, who is one of the new judges on American Idol. Let me tell you about Cara. Didn't really have high hopes for her. They told us she was going to be the keynote address. So what is she going to speak about? You know, she starts off her speech by saying, I was raised in an upper middle class New York house. And I'm thinking, ugh. You know, here comes another one of those privileged people who's complaining about their life. She didn't do it. She talked about how college wasn't for her and that you have to stay true to your dreams, and proceeded to do a bit of a storyteller's kind of thing where she sat around with a guitar, told a story about the song she wrote. As you know, she's a famous writer and producer of many hit songs, and sang songs like Sober by Pink, Pieces of Me by Ashley Simpson, some Celine Dion song. Nobody really likes Celine Dion. All she does is complain. She's kind of like Jennifer Aniston. And what else did she sing? A Kelly Clarkson song, Walk Away. Nobody really likes that song either, but she should have sang I Do Not Hook Up, which she also wrote. So, but the real interesting thing is, so Cara's sitting there and she says, she starts off by talking about American Idol and saying, look, I know I'm bad on American Idol. And I just thought, wow, yeah, you are. But, you know, and she says, this year I'm going to get better. I'm dedicating myself to get better. Well, if you've been watching American Idol, you saw the most epic moment in American Idol in at least the past 3 years. The other day, they're narrowing it down to the top 24, and Cara's on the show. And so they're telling the people whether, yes, they made the top 24, or no, they didn't. So she calls this female into the room, this is her 3rd year trying out for American Idol, and this is where it gets good. So Cara they're all doing these big dramatic stories about saying, yes, you know, finding you know, making the people wait to find out whether the answer is yes or no. So Cara goes to the girl, makes her stand up from her chair. Cara sits down on the chair and makes the girl sit on her lap. Okay, this is where it gets good. Then proceeds to tell the girl, who's now sitting on her lap, I'm sorry, honey, you didn't make it. So not only did she tell her her dreams were crushed, she made her sit awkwardly on the lap of a multimillionaire. Yeah, that's good, Cara. That's a really good for her ego. The fact that she's on a multi-million-dollar person's lap telling her, for the 3rd year in a row, we think you suck. So, you know, Cara, you said you were trying to get better. It was epic, but it wasn't that great. And just to do a quick aside on American Idol, I think Ellen's doing an okay job. This is Simon Cowell's last season. I'm going to go out on a limb and predict who his replacement will be. Many people are talking Howard Stern as the possible replacement. It won't be Howard. He doesn't have the time or the energy or the name value to do it. But the reason, or I should say he has name value, it doesn't fit his character. The reason he won't do it is because sponsors will pull their advertising if he's put as their host. I don't think Fox wants that, especially since it's such a family show. What I do think it's going to be is I don't think it's going to be Perez Hilton, which I've heard tossed around, or even Tommy Mottola. I think Tommy Mottola, people know his name, but it's just he's a little bit greasy looking for TV. It's going to be, mark my words, Guy Oseary, who is the former CEO of Maverick Records and the personal manager of my friend here, Madonna. I'm telling you, it's going to be him. The other thing I would say to close out this segment of Real Time, speaking of my girl Madonna, do a YouTube search for an unreleased song that leaked this week, Madonna featuring Justin Timberlake, Across the Sky. I think you'll love it. We'll be back after the commercial break with a new feature on Rider Real Time, which we actually filmed last week, so you'll notice a change of clothes for me, spotlighting the most fascinating people here at Rider. See you after the break. This week, we bring to you a new feature on Rider Real-Time, spotlighting the most fascinating people at Rider. Let's get started with a 23-year-old Rider graduate from Scotch Plains, New Jersey, whose star is on the rise. This year, you couldn't take your eyes off of Andrew LoBrace. Born on November 14, 1987, along with identical twin Matt and one of 5 children, Andrew's years prior to Rider included sports, weight training, and good old-fashioned hard work. Beginning as a finance major in 2005, he graduated in 2009 and immediately began his new role as the graduate assistant for campus activities, while pursuing his master's in business administration. His meteoric rise included running the Rider Pub, organizing the University Ball, and writing Weekend Warriors, all in his debut year. But the most shocking thing about Andrew is that he's not shocking at all. So I started by asking, just who is Andrew LoBrace?
Who is Andrew LoBrace? It's a good question. Well, I'm a grad student here at Rider. I just finished my undergraduate in May, and I am currently the graduate assistant for campus life. So I'm having a lot of fun working right alongside of you, Dave Keenan, Keith Kimo, and the rest of the gang.
So what has your journey at Rider been like for you, though, leading up to this point?
Well, like I said, I did my undergraduate here for 4 years. So I was involved in Delta Sig, and then I went on to graduating and took on the responsibilities here. And I've become a lot more comfortable here at Rider my senior year leading up to this point. I really enjoy working with students, so I'm happy where I'm at, and I hope I can continue working here past this year and years to come. So we'll see what happens.
But you've done a lot this past year.
I don't want to say a lot. I mean, I'm just trying to work up to you, of course.
Well, of course. But where has your job taken you this past year that you didn't expect it to?
I really didn't think I was going to have this much hands-on experience with working this closely with students. I have a lot of control, helping shape the students' lives. I never really thought that I was going to actually be able to do, which I find, real accomplished for me as a personal accomplishment. I actually shape people's lives, so I think that's a lot more of what I was expecting for. And it wasn't really my direction as an undergraduate, because I think I had this conversation with you before. My parents want me to go into business and kind of do the whole finance route and stuff like that. And, each and every day I'm like, what the hell am I doing boring finance for? I want to work with students. I can't just do that 9-to-5 little job. I'll get burnt out of that. So I'm trying to find a different route, and I think this is where I need to be. I think that's what I'm going to have to do.
No, that's awesome. But so we talk ambition-wise for your time here at Rider. What is there left to conquer for you?
Left to conquer? I got a lot. I haven't conquered anything yet. I haven't taken on many of the larger scale events such as yourself that you plan the Magnuses and the larger venues. So I think eventually, I'm trying to get a feel for it right now. I'm in the process, obviously, with planning U-Ball and stuff like that. But that's nowhere near to the scale of the the concerts that you plan, like the Sean Kingston and stuff like that. I think that's real neat. That was like the one time I went to it. That was amazing.
Yeah. I appreciate that. But let's talk about the U-Ball. So you know that prior to this year, anyone probably would have said, this kid can't plan a dance.
They still say it. Go on.
They probably still say it, fair enough. But what has it been like for you to actually plan a school semi-formal dance?
It's a lot of fun. I don't like... Start that one over.
Just keep going. Go ahead.
What's it like planning a dance? Well, I have a great time doing it. There's a lot of different things that go into planning an event that I've never known even existed. And I think you've helped me out with that, kind of guiding me along. And, with the assistance that you have, I don't think I would be able to kind of plan the event, make it as successful as it has so far. So, we'll see what happens.
You've done a great job.
Well, I had a lot of help.
Well, it's safe to say that this past year has been a pretty fascinating year for you. Agreed?
One would say, yes.
So, I guess my follow-up question to that is, who fascinates you?
Who fascinates me? Well, the obvious question would be yourself. I mean, you fascinate me. You got a little quirk to you.
I'm a pain in the ass.
Well, of course, I'm alongside of you pretty much 24/7, in and outside the office, at the gym, weekends, and it's just you fascinate me a lot. If you didn't fascinate me, I wouldn't even be here right now. I would just kind of just be like, peace, and
Oh yeah, that would really go over well. So fast forward 5 to 10 years down the line, what does Andrew LoBrace's life look like? Okay.
Old.